Let's begin, shall we? Hello, Claire.
Let us begin.
Well, hey, everybody. It's once again time for Podsawthon, a Lovecraft book club, with me, your host, Todd Beardsley, and my lovely attorney, wife, companion, and co-explainer of Lovecraftian things, Claire Reynolds. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Todd.
How are you?
I'm good. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while.
Been a while. Walked right into that one.
Mm-hmm. So today we're going to be talking about the tomb.
The tomb.
It has a B on the end. And this was written by, you guessed it, H.P. Lovecraft.
What?
Let's see. It was published in 1922 issue of Weird Tales. I believe it's the May-June issue of Weird Tales. And this is gothy as heck. But did you want to talk about other things first at all? No? Just going to just jump into it?
Yep.
Let's just jump into
I
it.
got nothing.
So it's the tomb. If this sounds familiar,
So it's the tomb.
it is. In my opinion, I mean, this is like a whole subgenre of Lovecraft. It's like a lonely
Misfit.
mid-20s man, misfit, exactly.
Living in his parents' basement.
Living at his familial estate, and gets really, really, really involved in something kind of gothy. So kinda. So, and the gothy thing that he gets involved with is the tomb that's in the back. That's basically in his backyard. To me,
I hate it when that happens.
it seemed very similar to The Unnameable, if you'll recall that, where that's Randolph Carter and his friend. They are sitting on a tomb talking about the Unnameable.
Okay.
And then they have like they tell each other a little ghost story, and then a monster comes out and chases them around.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
The Hound, which I talk about all the time now. The two goths who never figured out that like drinking and having sex is also fun.
Yeah.
and are reduced to grave robbing.
That's right. Okay.
The Loved Dead, which was our last story. I think it has some notes of the Loved Dead there, further, to me at least, showing
if this
that
were
like
a video,
yeah.
They would see me staring off into the distance, trying to remember anything.
Any of these stories, yeah. But this is the thing. It's like, here we are 100 years later, right? And there's been a bunch of comic books and role-playing games, video games, and board games, and movies, and TV shows. There's tons of stuff, right? That's Lovecraftian. It shows up in like Batman stuff, right? It's very, very common. And so most of the things that most people tend to be aware of, like the giant tentacle monster, so the Cthulhu mythos, right? That's one track in Lovecraft. Another track is all the Dreamland stuff, which we've talked about on this show. And like the Dreamland stuff shows up in other things, mostly in the like board games and stuff. But this, I think, is a third track. It doesn't necessarily have to do with Arkham and, backwoods Massachusetts and New England and all that. It's just like lonely goth kids.
Yeah.
Like is like its own oeuvre. And I think it's neat that like it's all together, right? And like you see, because like he writes these short stories and he publishes them, often years later after he writes them. I think this one was written maybe in like 1917 or something, but it wasn't published till 1922. And you see like elements from all his stories like popping up in other stories. He's just like always like recombining these things, which I think is fun.
I just think they're neat.
And so this starts off with the narrator, who does unusually have a name. His name is Gervais Dudley.
It's pronounced Gervais.
I don't know. How do you pronounce it?
I thought it was Jervis.
Jervis?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
pronounced it Gervais.
What a name.
I pronounced it Gervais in my reading of it.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. Well, then it's Gervais.
Okay. It is now canonically in Podsawthon.
I would have thought
Gervais.
if it was going to be Gervais, it would be AIS.
Okay. Well, I did it wrong. That's fine. And
Well, he's Gervais now.
Okay. So J. Dudley.
J. Dudley.
It opens. The setting of the story is he's recounting this from an asylum that he has been involuntarily committed to, and he was committed for monomania, which is, as you might expect, a somewhat quaint psychological diagnosis. It came up, I guess, in law a lot. So like when you could, it's like in the zone of like partial insanity or temporary insanity, where you can claim it as a defense, basically. Oh. And that seemed to be its main utility. Okay.
I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I read this. Mm-hmm. And why is he, I mean, did he light something on fire?
Okay, we'll get into it. Do you need to take a minute to read the story? Okay.
No, I'm trying to remember because like all he was.
I mean, there is a fire.
Yeah, all he was doing was just sleeping in the grove,
okay.
right? Like
well, let's refresh for the audience.
Okay.
I know you know, but we'll refresh for the audience what happens in this story, right? So opens up at the asylum. He's like, "Hey, you're never gonna believe this," and
guys, you're never gonna believe what happened.
And then doodaloo, he like flashback to his childhood. He was dreamy and isolated, and he was like really
he was dreamy and isolated from a very early age.
From a very early age.
Connor Roy was interested in politics at a very young age,
and was like really interested in the uncanny, and so like he would go on walks through graveyards and stuff, and I'm sorry, not graveyards, through cemeteries, which are a different thing, which we can talk about. And so like he was, and he was like wealthy. What is the line, like wealthy beyond like any commercial means or something like that?
Yeah, something like beyond the necessity of a commercial life.
Yeah, and so. It's a story of a lonely, idle rich kind of person, right? But he's always been this way. He's always been like a little bit weird, and quiet, and he reads a lot, right? He's bookish and everything. And so clearly this is Lovecraft himself, right? Like that is yet another autobiographical character for Lovecraft. And then at 10, he finds this granite vault in his backyard, back in the woods. It's a little clearing, and it's designed so the door is just barely, it's just ajar, but it's also chained shut with a big chain and a big lock, and it's just like you can't get in there, right? And it belonged to the Hyde family.
This is just all I ever wanted to find in that abandoned lot on my street, and instead I found the pile of Playboys.
Everyone of our age.
Why were our dads throwing Playboys out in abandoned lots?
And uncles.
Yeah.
And uncles.
Yeah.
I mean, my Playboys were in the backwoods. I don't think we talked about this.
Surely we've brought this up.
So I, too, have found, girly magazines in the woods behind my house. But the one I remember the most was, what are they called when you don't sell a book and you tear the cover off, like a paperback? It's like a rendered book, maybe, something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of
it. Rendered, something like that. And
boy, I wish that was the only time we use rendition these days.
So I found like a box of these books that had their paperbacks that had their covers ripped off, and I found Lady Chatterley's Lover. Oh
my God, are you serious? Why do I not know that? I think you have told me the story. But
I think I've told you the story, but I don't think I've done it on mic. So yeah, I sat in the woods,
funniest,
as a 10-year-old, as this character, reading Lady Chatterley's Lover.
That's literature. Who threw this out of them because they were like, I can't have this at home. It's too hot.
Too hot.
My wife will kill me.
So,
actually, she's like, my husband will kill me.
Yeah.
Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
And it's all like heaving bosoms and what all. It's just like down the middle. It's like the prototypical, bodice ripper. And that's probably part of why I am who I am today.
Yeah, I guess so. I just found Kate.
One of Charlie's Angels.
One of the Charlie's Angels, yeah.
So instead of porn, he finds a tomb. And and he really, really wants to go in. And he feels like this like irrational pull, right? He's like, I got to get in this tomb.
Yeah.
And
which again, I'm like,
obviously,
what child is not going to have this feeling? Like, I need to get in this thing at all costs.
When I was this age, when I was 10, I was in like suburban Philadelphia, and we had woods backed up on our house, and then like the storm drain also like dumped out there. So obviously we neighborhood kids would like crawl into the storm drain and see how far we can go before it got too gross. And it wasn't terribly far.
No.
But it wasn't like sewage or anything.
Yeah,
it was
this
just
is
rainwater.
Pre-it, I assume.
It was contemporary with
Pre
it.
that you would have read it.
Yeah, this would have been about 2 years before it was released. So kids, go explore all the dark places in your backyard. That's what these kids are missing today.
Yeah, that's what's wrong.
You got to put down the Roblox and get yourself a flashlight and a storm drain. So he finds this tomb, and he's starting to get obsessed with it. And like this is the root of his monomania. And once he like brings a candle, like it's a jar, right? It's a big granite slab that's open-ish. And he's like a little kid, so he can definitely like shove an arm in there. So he shoves an arm in there and with a candle, and he sees like, oh, there's tons of cool shit in there. But he can't open it. He's not strong enough. And then he realizes, it's like, oh, well, I'm not like old enough or strong enough to move this thing. And he like draws some parallel with, mythic thing, which I thought was very like Arthurian. So he starts getting obsessed with this thing, and he wants to get in. And he can shove his little 10-year-old arm in there, and he has a candle, and it looks cool. It looks dope as hell in there, and he can't wait to get in. But then he's messing around with this for like a year. He's like, man, I really got to get in here. And then he finds the worm-eaten translation of Plutarch's Lives. Like,
that was his Lady Chatterley's lover.
That was his Lady Chatterley's lover. And in the book-filled attic in his home, right? And so now why it's worm-eaten, I don't know. It's like a fairly popular work.
Do worms eat books?
At
it's
least,
else, right? It's got to be like mice.
At least half a dozen times, Lovecraft blames worms on
the worms are there, so are the worms.
The worms are their money. The bones are their dollars.
The books are their money.
So he finds Plutarch's Lives, and in that, the story is, this heir to the throne has like his symbols of office underneath this slab, and he can only lift it when he's like old enough, right? And he's like, oh, okay, well, that's the deal here. So he doesn't worry about it much anymore. And then he kind of wanders around town and, finds other weird shit to get involved in. And then we have like this tiny little micro story right there of he passes by a grave in the neighborhood cemetery from 1711, and I have a bunch of things to say about this. So first off, about Goodman Simpson and Squire Brewster. And Goodman Simpson is the Undertaker, who I just assume is Abe Simpson from The Simpsons. That's all I can see and hear in this tiny little story. And he's like, oh yeah, did you know that Goodman Simpson, was a grave robber as well as an undertaker? And he's just a giant bastard, right? He stole Squire Brewster's shoe buckles, his socks, and his underpants.
Well, he was not going to use them.
So what are you going to do with all these underpants that you steal? Collecting underpants is just phase one.
He was not going to use them, but why? The silver buckled shoes, the silken hose, and the satin small clothes of the deceased, which I am just assuming is underpants.
Yeah, I've heard that term before, but I never really knew what it was. I just assumed it was tiny little clothes. No, I'm just kidding.
Just tiny little doll clothes. And I thought it was great. And so like this is probably the pivotal point in the story, actually. So like Goodman Simpson and Squire Brewster have nothing to do with the hides, have nothing to do with like the background of the tomb or the mansion that burns down or any of that stuff. But this kid like surprises the town, right, by knowing these by confidently stating these details. So I think this is like a case for this kid like has medium powers and can like commune with the dead.
Yeah,
just kind of in general.
Yeah,
not just the tomb, but like all tombs.
Yeah,
right?
I was kind of wondering about how, because at first I thought, oh, does he know this information because he knows what his purported ancestors would have known, but they wouldn't have known that
this is totally it's unrelated,
Yeah.
right? So I think he's just like in communion with the dead all the time.
I see dead people walking around like regular people.
Squire Brewster's like, you are not going to believe what this asshole did.
exactly. And by the way, Goodman and Squire are both titles. They're not really names or anything, but I don't know. It's just a thing that happened in like 18th century America. This is what we called people.
Yeah, I know everybody that was like hanged during the Salem witch trials was named Goody something.
Yes.
Goody was like the accusers usually.
We'll get into it, but I have like two cases of like what actually happens in the story, like the case for supernatural events are actually happening, or the case of like this guy's just is rightfully committed to the asylum. Is he's just batty, right? One or the other. And I think it's intentional that it's not clear which one is which. But
we only know it from his version.
And we only know from his version, right? So more time passes, and he's like, one day he goes down to the tomb. He's like, man, I would love to get into this tomb. Yes?
Yeah. When he was talking about, I began to feel that the tomb was mine and to look forward with hot eagerness to the time when I might pass within that stone door and down those slimy stone steps in the dark. That just made me think of every Texas summer that where I would have paid good money at a tomb in the backyard to go escape into. It's shady and cold and slimy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Please.
Something happens. I don't really remember what, but something happens, and he's like, oh yeah, there's a treasure chest also in the attic.
Yeah, he just fell asleep and then woke up and knew about it or something.
Oh,
right?
that's right. He fell asleep outside the tomb, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first time he falls asleep outside the tomb. Right. He falls asleep, and then he wakes up, and he realizes, oh, yeah, there's a key to this lock right in the house. Cool. Boop, 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 boop. And then he goes in, gets the key, comes out, boom, it's party time. So now he's partying down in the tomb, and he does it a lot.
Partying in the tomb.
Right. And he's 21 when this happens, right? So it's like 10 years after he discovers the tomb. And he sees, like, the coffins and all the stuff, and then he gets, like, real... evasive. He's like, well, I'm not going to tell you everything that happened in there.
Yeah.
Which to me is necrophilia, right? Like that's definitely what happened.
Yeah.
and it like, okay, so if you're a necrophiliac, you have Congress with the dead, right? If you are a necrophile, that is you just enjoy the company of corpses, right?
Okay. I think so.
Yeah.
I think
all
so.
the accoutrement that comes with, funerary rites and all that.
I guess.
So maybe he's a necrophile. Maybe he's not a necrophiliac.
Yeah. I mean, they're like bones now, right? It's not even like there's anything
mostly,
there.
The thing is open, right? It's unsealed.
Yeah. Yeah, that stuff has decayed. It's just bones.
It's got like animals and crap in there all the time,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh my God, imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's hanging out with the bones. And then as he spends more and more time down there, he starts getting this 18th century affect in his speech and the things he talks about. And sometimes he comes out and he's kind of drunk, right? Because he's been partying in the tomb. And then his parents, or his father anyway, gets a spy to follow him around. And then he overhears the spy reporting on Jervis's behavior, and the spy says like, yeah, he goes out to the tomb and then he takes a nap, and then he gets up and then he comes back, and the father's like, oh, okay, as long as he's not going in, like I'm sure it's fine, right? He's just taking a nap. And he's like, and his immediate assumption is like, oh, supernatural Aegis is afoot, and no one can see that I'm actually going in the tomb. So that's it. So this, I think, is like a check mark in the case for battiness.
Yeah.
Just not actually supernatural things happening. Nobody seems to witness any supernatural stuff at this point anyway.
Yeah. I thought I want to, just before that, I really want to talk about this, the song.
The ribald
and the
song.
way he does it, he's like, one morning at breakfast, I came close to disaster by declaiming in palpably licorice accents and a fusion of 18th century bacchanalian mirth. A bit of Georgian playfulness never recorded in a book, which ran something like this.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey. And yeah, just so I'm imagining this like 21-year-old, you know, still a child in all practical ways, right?
Yeah.
He's very sheltered. He hasn't been out in the world. He doesn't have to like get a job or anything. And he's just like slurring everything, right? Oh, come hither, my lads, and you take it to veil. It's like, it's Ren Fair is what it is.
Yeah. And his parents are like,
oh, this is the thing you're doing now.
yeah. This is the thing.
This is your thing now. Okay.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. Been there. so yeah, and it's a long song.
It is really long.
I'm idly curious if anyone has put it to music. I am not threatening to put it to music with that stupid AI music thing. Which, by the way, we do have an album. It's at podsouthouth.bandcamp.com.
Has that made you rich yet?
It has zero sales.
0.0. And
very few followers.
I can't imagine why.
A vanishing fraction of the followers we have on this podcast. Yeah, so that's his thing now. He's like an 18th century dandy who like parties all the time, and like even he remarks is like, I don't know why people don't put it together. Like, this is not me. Like, this is unlike anything I've ever like been. Like, I don't drink. I'm a nerd. I just read books and hang out in the woods and stuff. And then he goes in one final night. He doesn't know it's the final night, obviously, but he goes down to the tomb, and then he doesn't go to the tomb. No, he looks and he's like, the Hyde Mansion. It's back. It's back, and
in full splendor. And it is.
And they're having a party, and all the lights are on, and there are people coming in from all over the place. And he goes to the party, and everything's great. Little does he know, this is the night that the mansion is struck by lightning and burns to the ground. And so,
I mean, of all the nights to go to a party.
So, and this was like an historic event, like in his town. Everybody knows about it. And so what do you know? He's at this ghost party, and then the ghost party gets struck by ghost lightning, and then the ghost house burns down, and he's like fully now embodied, like Gervais Hyde. Yeah. Or what was how did you pronounce it?
I thought it was Jervis.
Jervis or Gervais Hyde. And
Jerome. Jack. Jefferson.
Jerv.
Jerver me.
Jar-free.
It is like a weak ejaculation.
Okay.
Cheers.
Okay. So he's fully embodied this historic person, right? And he's struck by lightning. I read it as like he's not just worried he's going to get struck by lightning and get burned to a crisp, but he actually is struck by lightning and burned to a crisp. And then he's like plaintive, right? And he calls out like, what? I don't want to be like a wandering spirit, like what's his name? Palinaeus. No, Palinurus. He says specifically, like, I would claim my heritage of death, even though my soul goes seeking through the ages for another corporeal tenement to represent it on the vacant slab in the alcove of the vault. Gervais Hyde should never share the sad fate of Palinurus. And that's...
Yeah, I don't know.
This is
Who's Palinurus?
I will tell you. Yes. Okay. I looked it up. So Palinurus is a character in the Aeneid by Virgil. And he was the helmsman that in chapter 5, he is washed off the deck. And there, it's unclear if it was just like pure accident or if it was like meddling by the gods, because it's Aeneid, so like everything is meddling by the gods. And the whole story of Palinurus is that since he was swept out to sea, he never got a proper burial. And then they find him again when they go to the underworld, and he's like an unquiet shade, right? Okay. And he's like whining about it.
Yeah. I feel like the ocean is a pretty proper burial. Like that's,
but there's like a ritual involved when you're buried at sea, right? And
Right.
that
Oh,
is
he
the
didn't get
thing. And
that.
he didn't get that. He
Okay.
was just washed
All right.
off the deck, right?
Okay.
And so that was his deal. And so like this is a thing. And in fact, and on the edition that I read on hplovecraft.com opens with this phrase in Latin, which I did not attempt to read on the podcast. I spared the listeners that, but not you listeners, because I'm going to do it right now.
You fool.
It is, in my terrible Latin, sedibus ut saltem placidus in morte quiescem. The translation I liked was, in a peaceful grave, my corpse compose.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that's from the Aeneid.
So he just wants a nap.
He wants to be put to rest, right? And so, which I really like, because like what this tells me is like this story in particular, like this is one of Lovecraft's stories that like really shows the DNA of like everything that goes into it, like the literary DNA that goes into it, right? There's Fall of the House of Usher, right? Obvious.
Yeah.
But instead of, scheming bastards, right? They're all decadent, just partiers like that, which is like the worst thing for Lovecraft.
Right.
And
right. Yeah. You deserve to get struck down by lightning.
There is.
Oh my God, I went to a party. God.
There's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? Because the family name of Hyde, and these Hydes they're not like violent monsters like in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, strange case of, but they are, again, they are decadent. They revel, and they have ribald poetry.
I guess. I don't know. They sound really awesome.
They sound dope as hell, right? And then, of course, the Aeneid, right? Like these, like at least a couple different references there. So I like that a lot. And so he calls out, right? Like historical, burns up, and he's the only victim in this house fire. Like everybody else gets out, but except for him, he's the only one. And that's like the beginning of the end of like the Hyde dynasty, I guess.
Yeah.
There are other descendants that show up after him, but they come in like they, I guess they're shipped in. Their bodies are shipped in from wherever they happen to drop dead, and then they're put in the tomb. And this made me think of specifically the Emma Thompson, Kenneth Branagh movie, Dead Again.
Yeah. Oh,
like
that was a good movie.
It's pretty good. It's like neo-noir.
I forgot about that movie.
It's so good. So if you like this story,
we gotta watch that later.
Go watch Dead Again, because like that's I think what the effect is happening here. It's like partial, like he's not possessed necessarily by these spirits, but and it's not really reincarnation. Even though that's the implication, right? Because like on his mother's side, he actually is related to the Hydes.
Yeah.
But I think it's like it's that blending that really, plays up in Dead Again. Also, standout dramatic performance from Robin Williams. I think his first, when he wasn't just, a wacky comedy guy.
About that. Yeah. I vaguely remember, watching it at one point and really liking it. And I remember it being eerie, but that's all I remember.
It's so good.
All right.
And it's like Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson just making moony eyes at each other.
Yeah,
This is like
I
at
know.
the height of their powers.
Before
Helena, the unpleasantness.
Wait, what was her name?
Helena Bonham Carter.
Helena Bonham Carter, yes.
Anyway, Dead Again, spiritual descendant of The Tomb by H.P. Lovecraft. So anyway, that happens, and then he's like raving, right?
Yeah.
Then he becomes raving, and then like people from the village show
He's
up.
got light sticks.
He's got his pacifier. He's got his furry boots. And
Sorry,
I'm just totally raving.
I had to take it down, take it down an intellectual level.
And he's like screaming. It's like, oh, you got to put me in the tomb, put me in the tomb. And then they commit him. And then we have a visit from heretofore unmentioned, trusty manservant, shows up, his Alfred essentially, and says, yes, I did go into the tomb and we did find the nameplate of Gervase Hyde. Dun, dun, dun. And then also there was like this little portrait that looked just like him in the basement and all that. So like, that's some evidence, right? That this was in fact a supernatural occurrence.
Well,
or
Hiram
people
was
look
just
like
saying,
people.
Also, and Hiram was just, you look like your ancestors. And also Hiram
maybe he's just being a bro
was
and
just
trying to
like,
chill him out.
Yes,
of
course. But okay, I still don't understand why. Like, I mean, he was raving and wanted to go into this tomb. He's not hurting anybody. He's not hurting himself, right?
Well,
or did I miss something?
I think there's like a real arm's length implication. Like he is going to kill himself, like in order to go to the tomb.
Okay.
Right, because it's this unquiet spirit who's been hanging out for 100 years, and now he's got a body back, so gotta hit that and then go get laid to rest. Probably.
All right,
because he's been dead as far as he's concerned. He's been dead for 100 years already.
That's right.
So
okay.
It's probably not. I don't think it's even in the text, but like this seems to be the thing. And he's like he's talking crazy talk, like it's like talking about things from 100 years ago, and he knows about the story of Goodman Simpson.
Well, he's not hurting anybody though. But yeah, I did not pick that up. I guess back then that was. I mean, he was just an embarrassment to his family. So it was,
I mean, he is still the only child though, so I mean, it's not like they have a lot of
sleeping around in the just laying in abandoned lots.
So on the one hand, the supernatural case is he's had an interest in the supernatural since a very young age. Hit some details that I guess are verifiable, like at least like he knows about the story of the mansion and everything. Yeah. On the other hand, he might just be off his rocker. So yeah. So I love it. Like I think it's like
this one.
I really liked it. I thought it was going to be super boring, but like this one really solidified me. The side oeuvre of Lovecraft of like
it's really hot. When you say that, by the way.
Tortured. Thank you. The side oeuvre of Lovecraft.
Okay, less hot.
All right.
You ventured into creepy.
Damn. Of like tortured goth boy.
Hello and welcome to Goth Talk.
Right?
Yeah.
So I really like that. And that's the story.
Yeah.
There we go. And then he's and some say he's in the asylum.
To this very day.
100 years ago tonight. I guess it would be 103 years ago since it was published in 1922.
Yeah.
So I really liked it. I thought it was goth as fuck. It reminded me of Dead Again, which made me happy. So the inspiration for this story was Lovecraft, according to so I just noticed we've been doing this podcast for like 5 years. So I have this paperback, right, which I've always referred to as the Lovecraft Encyclopedia. The full title is An H.P. Lovecraft Encyclopedia.
Okay.
The indefinite article.
Okay, so there are multiple.
I guess it's just not quite sure that it is like the definitive.
You know
one.
what? I can get behind that because if I were to issue something like that, I would feel uncomfortable saying because that's like,
That's it.
What kind of confidence does that take?
Yeah. Anyway, according to An H.P. Lovecraft Encyclopedia, it was inspired by a walk through Swan Point Cemetery in Providence, where Lovecraft saw a tombstone that was dated from 1711. And so two things about that. One, Swan Point Cemetery is like a really undiscovered gem of a cemetery in New England. It was like part of that, like, hey, cemeteries should be parks and not just like shitty graveyards and church and like urban churches.
Okay.
So like the first one of those was Boston's, right? Was Mount Auburn Cemetery in Boston.
Okay.
So this came after that, and took direct inspiration from the Mount Auburn Cemetery. So next time we go to Providence, we should definitely go.
Yeah.
Because this is where Lovecraft is buried as well, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he has a plot there, but this particular tomb is also there, and so, I mean, it's a little morbid, I guess, but goth as fuck, right? That like Lovecraft saw this tomb from 1711, wrote a story about the tomb, and then was buried near this tomb.
Yeah.
Like
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty dope.
I think a lot, and I mean a lot, about Highgate Cemetery.
Yes.
Like, that was magical.
All those cemeteries come from, this movement in the middle 19th century Because like France was the first. There's a Parisian cemetery. I have it written down. Yes, the Père Lachaise Cemetery was dedicated in 1804. So it was the first one of this style of like rolling hills and expand, and like a nice place to like have a picnic and like breathe air and not get tuberculosis.
Yeah. Well, I mean the reason, but
and cholera,
Highgate
and all the rest,
all the stuff. Yeah. No, I mean Highgate is amazing because it's all unkempt and overgrown.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but it hasn't always been that way. It used to be very manicured, and now it has its own like look. Right.
Yeah. I have never been a person that, I mean, you know me. I've given strict instructions. Put me in a body farm.
Yeah,
do something useful with my body. If we're in a plane crash in the Alps, I am to be eaten. If a situation ever comes up where I'm offered a cemetery plot in Highgate Cemetery, I will allow that. I don't know how that's going to happen. Yeah.
And so he sees this tomb, right? The date of 1711. And Lovecraft says to his pals, he says, "Why could I not talk with him and enter more intimately into the life of my chosen age? What had left his body that it could no longer converse with me? I'd looked long at that grave, and the night after I returned home, I began my first story of the new series, The Tomb." So, direct inspiration, ran home.
That's super cool.
Started writing The Tomb.
God, I wish I had creativity.
So, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I really liked that one too. It just...
And so that's that. Cool. Well, on to business.
All right.
On to Pod Soft Off business.
Taking care of business.
Every day.
Some days.
On weekends. Once a month, maybe.
Yes, if we're lucky.
So we got an e-letter over email to my
electronic
to my e-post box from loyal listener Wesley Dodd, who was a subscriber for a while there.
Oh, I can't imagine why anybody would give up on us.
Yes. And he really appreciated the Psalm 69 drop in the last talkie episode, which was talking about episode 69.
Okay.
It's just a ministry riff that I put in, and he really enjoyed that. He caught it, and he was like, "Oh, clever." So I like that. And we got a request from a listener.
Ooh.
A listener named Jeffrey.
Jeff.
Okay. I just recently discovered the story, The Last Test, co-authored by H.P. Lovecraft and Adolphe de Castro. I don't know how this one slipped past my radar, and now wonder how many other works I have yet to discover. Anyway, I'd like to suggest you read it on your show in the near future.
Let's do it.
I have had a long-standing rule of like, if I hear any request, it's next.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I'm not doing these in any
this was
particular
somebody's
order.
request. The tomb was somebody's request, right?
I don't think so.
No? Oh, I thought it was.
No.
Okay.
The last request I did was Nameless City from Seraph.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing, though, with The Last Test. I'm definitely going to read it.
Okay.
It is 19,000 words, which makes it about 4 times as long as the average Lovecraft short story.
We got to up our game at some point.
I'm starting to run out of the real short ones anyway.
We got to do it.
The longest one I've read was Dreams in the Witch House, and that was 15,000 words.
Okay.
And that became work about halfway through. So it'll probably be a couple different like sessions. I'll release it all at once. I still, unless there's a very natural break in it. Like I imagine like Call of Cthulhu, right, is one that you can chunk up into like 3 different sections because there's basically 3 different stories in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to take a run at The Last Test. I started looking up this Adolphe de Castro person. Oh, dear listener, this guy is a wild. I'm not going to ruin it. You have to wait 2 episodes.
It's got Adolf and Castro in it. It's like,
wow. Yeah. I didn't even notice that part. Yeah. This character is definitely overpowered. He is OP.
Oh, okay. I'm excited.
Yeah, he lived quite a life, and I will say that like when he collaborated with Lovecraft on this, Lovecraft was like, I want to say Lovecraft was like 25, and Adolphe de Castro or Adolphe maybe, Adolphe.
I don't know.
I think it's Adolphe.
I think so. Yeah.
So anyway, Lovecraft was 25. And Adolphe de Castro was like 70.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how much of de Castro like rubbed off on Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, this old dude is hella rad.
Yeah.
I'm going to be an old dude now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. And on top of that, it's apparently a comedy. So
What?
I know, exactly.
Oh, I'm in.
So
Let's do it.
So yeah, we'll do it. And then finally, some bad news. Bad news for us, good news for the Francophile world. We have dropped in the rankings of podcastery. If you, by the way, listener, if you like this podcast, please give it a star, write a positive review, tell your friends.
Give it more
That
than 1
helps.
star, please.
Yes, obviously, it's 5 stars or no stars. Like, that's all we care about. That's all anybody cares about.
No, it's so sad that
Yeah.
like that that's the thing.
So, but we have dropped down, and the reason why we've dropped down, we've been knocked out of our hard-fought 9th place showing by a French language reading of Lovecraft stories.
Ooh.
It's called Lovecraft L'Intégral.
Wow.
And they started publishing in June of 2025. They have rocketed up. They stopped. They were publishing like every day or every other day.
Damn.
And it's just readings.
Oh, that's insane.
And it was like really well, and it was well produced. It had
Yeah.
sound effects and everything. They stopped publishing in August. I don't know why. Maybe they're off for a month or 3.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll pick it up again. I wouldn't know because I don't speak French.
Well,
So-
you certainly pronounce French very well.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, the trick is you just don't pronounce half the word. And the episode 1, so I listened through episode 1 because it's entitled Les Abominations de Dunwich. And I'm like, oh, I know that one. And so it was pretty fun, right? Like all the like little New England words, like they pop real hard against this French background.
Oh my God, I love how you sound like a Cajun. Now I want to hear Cajun French.
So anyway, if you are conversant in French, do check them out. They seem cool. You know, and obviously don't rate them 0 star or 1 star to
yes,
knock them out of
yeah.
our well-earned 9th
Yeah.
place spot.
No, we got 10th.
I know, we're down to like 10th now, which sucks.
You know what? I would never tear down a competitor.
No, of course
We
not.
just got it. That's on us
Yeah.
to work our way back.
This next episode is going to be bananas. So
Doing it.
yeah, there will be a link in the show notes. That said, I don't know. We might come back because we got a little bump after I appeared on the ThreatCon 1 podcast, which is a nerd cybersecurity podcast, where they foolishly asked me about this podcast. And it was like we recorded like right before Halloween. And so basically the last 10 minutes of that podcast, like the first 40 minutes is just normal cybersecurity stuff. This is what I do for a job, right? And, you know, it's like a big part of my life and everything. So I'll talk about that forever. But then they asked about it. And so the last 10 minutes of this podcast of this nominally
Did they put it
cybersecurity.
out?
Yes.
Oh,
And they
they did.
published it like basically as is, of just talking about like horror cinema and like tropes that show up in horror and like what makes zombie movies
Yeah.
good.
I'm sure they loved that. That was probably fun.
And so if you want that, you can, I will have a link in the show notes. If you don't care about the cybersecurity stuff, just zip ahead to minute 39 is when we start talking about just horror movies. So that's it. We're on Bandcamp, as mentioned. We have some AI generated slop.
When he says we,
It's all of us.
It's
all of us together.
I had no
You can
part in
listen
that,
to
my
it.
friends.
You definitely did. You liked the first one.
I liked one song.
Yeah, it's the banger. It's Night Gaunt. It was really good, and the rest of it is kind of garbage, but it was a fun experiment to see what all the fuss was about AI-generated anything. We got called out on Reddit. It's like the podcast had come up in a Reddit discussion, and somebody had said like, oh yeah, they're pretty good, but they sure talk about AI a lot for people who say they don't like AI. Yeah, accurate. You can follow us on Mastodon, for we are at PodSothoth on defcon.social, and we post in between episodes there and have little fun conversations. So that's pretty dope. And as always, if you want to email us, you can email us at hideous@podsothoth.club. Apparently the .club top level domain has a terrible reputation, so maybe I'll get it and maybe I won't. But it gets blocked by a lot of places, so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to move over to the .com here at some point. I think I've already registered the .com, so I'll probably move. But I'll keep .club forever because it's a book club. I like .club.
It is. It's cute.
Yeah. There was apparently like a ton of like Chinese phishing scams that were on .club, and so it just like totally wasted it.
Yeah.
But that was years ago. It's fine now. Anyway, thank you as always to our listeners and our supporters who contribute to the show monthly for some reason.
God bless you.
It does cover the hosting costs, so that's nice.
That's awesome.
And just pro tip, if you want Claire to commit to recording more often, you should subscribe, because then I can show her. It's like, look,
the guilt.
They're paying like
that will always do. Yes,
they're paying like $5
I know.
to hear you.
Oh
You
my
better,
God.
you're leaving them hanging.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you got to do that
So.
too. Also, stay tuned. Maybe we have some big news.
Oh yeah, some big news coming up. Probably on a couple fronts.
Yeah.
Big news for you. Big news for me. Big news for everybody. So, yeah, that's it. All right. Well, have a lovely beginning of the holiday season. Go to your favorite festivals, and we will rap at you next time. This is Jim Anchower signing out.